All right. Thank you, everyone. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for having us, Dynamark, and allowing us to present the M2M solution. Thanks for all the attendees taking the time out of your busy schedules to join. I know your lives are busy, and again, we appreciate you taking a few minutes out of your busy day to join us and let us hearing what we have to say. Let me just advance here. Okay, so quick introductions here of the presenters. My name is Matt Gehr. I'm Vice President of Sales for North America at M2M Services. My colleague with me here today is Chris Bartholomew. We also call him affectionately Bart for obvious reasons, but he's a sales engineer with us and is going to be our technical guru presenter here today. Bart and I will be tag teaming this presentation and telling you a bit about our company, our solutions. And after we deliver that info, we'll open it up for questions. So please jot down anything that pops into your mind or enter into the chat, and we'll address after we get through the meat of the presentation. So let's get started. Quickly give a little background about the company. Most of you likely know, but almost exactly 1 year to this day, so September 26th, a year ago, Alula and M2M Services merged. So now we're a single company, although there are still aspects of our business that we sort of operate separately. But as far as all should be concerned, we are a single company and have adopted a new parent name, and that parent name is M2M Services. And M2M Services consists of 3 brands of products and solutions under that umbrella. So those 3 brands are the M2M brand, the Alula brand, and then the Uplink brand. Uplink was acquired by M2M in 2022, so that's included under that umbrella as well. So together, our goal is to provide multiple solutions for all facets of an dealer or integrator's business. We have end-to-end hardware and interactive service solutions. So we develop hardware solutions for new installs, takeovers, upgrades for both residential and commercial applications that are driven by our software solutions. So mobile apps, web portal management, et cetera. So some of you guys out there think of us as, kind of a supplement to one area of your business or another. You don't realize that we have apps, we have web portals. Maybe you consider us more of a hardware manufacturer than an app provider, but we want to position ourselves as kind of the full package offering for you guys. We'll dive into the details of these solutions when I turn it over to Bart here in a minute, but let's quickly hit on the company at a glance post-merger. So what's the makeup of our company now that we're one single company? Excuse me. So after the merger, we have grown our international presence with our solutions. So we're available in over 50 countries. We have 3 offices. So one in Sofia, Bulgaria, which of course is the M2M headquarters. The St. Paul, Minnesota, which is the Alula headquarters, and then Atlanta, Georgia, which is the Uplink headquarters. Our technology is protected by over 200 patents, which greatly enhances our freedom to operate in all markets and develop new and innovative offerings. And post-merger, we have a cumulative of over 7,000 professional alarm dealers that are using at least one solution of ours. So whether it's a sensor, whether it's a communicator, a panel, there's over 7,000 of you guys out there that are using something M2M. And of those 7,000 plus dealers, you guys are adding over 20,000 activations on our network per month for a total of over 1.5 million total devices on our platform. So that's a lot. And we're actually probably closer to 1.6 now. And not everyone, sits back and thinks like, we think of the alarm.coms, the Residios, and they have all the devices on their network, but we have a ton on our network as well. So it's really safe to say that our solutions are proven and reliable. Now, excuse me. If we go back and take a look at the origins of M2M Services, so the cumulative company, and more specifically the companies out of which we were born, you'll see that we date back to the early 1990s. Some names that you might be familiar with that we once were essentially are ITI, Resolution Products, IP Datatel, and then M2M and Uplink. Those are the brands, and our solutions today still include that technology that originated from those companies. So like the translators, compatible sensors, communicators. We have a whole lineup of communicators now that kind of date back to the original companies that make up M2M Services today. Panels, we have a panel, and we'll have more here in the near future. Communication platform technologies and more. So what this does really is demonstrate a successful and proven industry credentials. And those technologies also have a long track record of being recognized in the industry for innovation and reliability, as you can see here. So we have a host of awards that we've collected over the years as a result of our technologies. And before I turn it over to Bart, and you have a little bit of a background of the new M2M services, I wanted to just kind of introduce and tee up the next section of this presentation for, like I said, when Bart takes over here. It's important that we introduce how we'd like to think of M2M services going forward. So the collective brands that make up M2M services, so again, Alula, M2M, and Uplink, have always been widely known as sort of, like I mentioned before, add-ons or supplements to your core solutions that you have probably built your business around, right, for the last 20, 30, 40 years in some cases. But how we'd like to position ourselves for you is a core solution that can address multiple and most applications in your business, really. We have a solution for new installs, for example. We have a solution for takeovers and upgrades of older panels in the field. We have a video platform and cameras, as well as a home automation offering via Z-Wave. We have compatible wireless sensors for service work. So we make sensors for 319, 345, and 433 frequencies that you can use in the field, and even with new installs in some cases. We have translators and repeaters that date back to the Resolution Products days. And then we also have a fire communicator for commercial fire applications. And probably most importantly, we have a robust interactive platform where you, as the dealer, can manage, program, and troubleshoot your customers. And soon we'll expand on all of this really with a hybrid panel, a new wireless panel, and as well as some other innovations that will better support a wider range of commercial applications. So our mission to you guys is to become a partner of yours that you can build your business around, not necessarily just an add-on or supplement. We love that too, but think of us, look at the other solutions that we can provide to dig deeper into your business and help you guys out. And really to better illustrate and reiterate these next couple visuals, just kind of show where our solutions end up. So we're used in a wide range of applications, both residential and small commercial, as well as new construction and existing homes and businesses. So just some examples that maybe you don't think of off the top of your head where you can use our solutions. So now, Bart, I'm going to turn it over to you. Take a deeper dive. You're the technology guy. So let's take a deep dive into the technology and applications of our solutions. And again, just a reminder to you guys, make note of any questions you have, and we'll answer them at the end during our Q&A. So Bart, all yours, buddy.
All right, thanks, Matt. Yeah, so as Matt mentioned, you might have always thought of us as traditionally making compatible sensors or translators, but we do have a very robust app. We've also added a touchscreen, and kind of the idea behind the app and the touchscreen is to have a consistent user experience for the end user. If you look at our app and you looked at our touchscreen side by side, you notice that they're almost identical, and that was by design. So if the end user knows how to do one, they know how to do the other. Our app and our touchscreen, I'm going to use the term app and touchscreen, not interchangeable, but like I said, it is a very consistent user experience. And our touchscreen works not on all of our products, but as we dig a little bit deeper, you're going to see that you can add our 7-inch touchscreen to a lot of the product offerings that we do have. We can brand the touchscreen and the app. We can put your logo on there, put your dealer information. We can even change the color scheme, and we don't charge for that at all. So real nice feature for our dealers. We have alerts, notifications for the end user as well as the dealer. Those can be in the form of a text message, a push notification, an email, so we can really customize. Most customers these days, they want to know obviously about alarms, trouble conditions, but hey, the pool gate is open. My kid got home from school at such and such a time. We can set up notifications for all of that. Matt mentioned cameras before. One of the nice things about not only the app, but the touchscreen, being able to answer that doorbell. Somebody comes up to the doorbell, presses the button on it, bang, my phone gets a notification. If I happen to be in the home near the touchscreen is going to have a message on there saying, hey, somebody hit the doorbell at whatever the name of the residence is or the business. I can start that two-way conversation as well. Fast and convenient control of Z-Wave. A word about fast. Our network, our app is really lightning fast. If you've had a chance to play with it at all, I think you'll probably agree. Most of the interactions with the app and touchscreen is about less time that it takes you to blink an eye. So when I open that front door and I have notifications turned on, I'll get a push notification literally within a second. The reason it's so fast is because we own everything. We own the app, we own the hardware, we own the platform. It's not like some of our competitors where your touchscreen is owned by company A, the app is owned by company B, sensors might be owned by company C. We own everything. So in addition to the app being very responsive, fast, as well as the touchscreen, our Z-Wave control is lightning fast as well. Once again, because there's no middleman. We own everything. So the app, the platform, the hardware, we own it all. We've also got a couple of features that a lot of our dealers are finding very convenient. The alarm verification and the messenger feature. Alarm verification, I'm paraphrasing here, but basically when there's a burglar alarm, kid gets home from school, maybe it's a high school, college kid, and they get home regularly at about 3:30 every day. Well, I'm going to get a notification that the alarm went off. Let's say it's 3:30. Well, chances are that's probably a false alarm. So number one, there's a feature in our app where as soon as I open up the app, there's going to be a message on there. Is this a false alarm? Yes or no? And depending on the choice that I make or don't make, because maybe nobody's there to get the notification. If I verify the alarm, we send a different message via contact ID into the central station that yes, it was verified, or no, it wasn't verified. As you're probably well aware, a lot of jurisdictions now, especially in your more urban areas, they're not going to send the police unless it's a verified alarm. So this is one way that we satisfy that. And maybe in conjunction with that alarm verification feature, if it was the scenario where I just gave you where, it was probably, I'm getting an alarm at 3:30 in the afternoon, and that's typically when the kids get home. It's probably a false alarm. So I can pull up the app and send a message in the app to all my family members that have it. Hey, Joel, was that you getting home from school? Did you set the alarm off accidentally? Oh, yeah, sorry, Dad. And I can respond then accordingly to that alarm verification message. So a convenient way to message within the app. And the other nice thing is there's a record of that conversation that's held in the app. Unlike texting, where a lot of people just delete the text and it's gone forever. That conversation is logged in the messenger portion of the app and it's there forever. So, all right, Matt, next slide. So, most of what we just talked about is obviously on the end user side, but one of the things that we're very proud of on the dealer side is our dealer portal. So this is where a dealer would go to add hardware, whether it be one of our communicators, whether it be our panel. Complete programming can be done through our portal. Now, there is some programming you can do on site. Obviously, that's always going to be a part of any panel. But we've designed our portal to minimize truck rolls. So if I want to silence trouble beeps, I want to add a sensor and mail it to a customer. Maybe it's a panic button. Do I want to drive out there 2 hours to press a button to learn it in and then turn around and come back? Well, if they're going to pay you, of course. But it might be easier just to program it remotely, send it in the mail to them, and then activate it. We're saving money on everyone's side. So real-time notification of events. So a customer calls me up and says, hey, my panel's beeping at me. If I pull up the dealer portal, I'm going to see in red, and it's going to say, depending on what the trouble condition is, panel low battery, cover tamper, and I can respond accordingly. And I can also silence those beeps remotely as well. So we've designed our dealer portal for ease of use and convenience for the end users. The portal is also where we set up our central station configuration. And really, people always ask, do you guys do monitoring? How do you do that? We don't do the monitoring. We forward that signal on to whoever you want to use. And it's pretty much universal compatibility. We can either do IP to IP on our platform, or we can do plain old telephone line. Either way, whatever your central station wants, as long as they're able to handle the contact ID signal, which everybody can. You can use various central stations. We also have CRM integrations with APIs. So if we wanted to set up, maybe you have a CRM integration with company B, and you don't want to enter the account information twice, we share API information readily with our dealers who are interested in doing that as well. So dealer portal, as I like to say, is where the magic happens, whether it be enrolling hardware, troubleshooting, programming, it's all done on our portal. Next slide, Matt.
You got it.
Okay, now a little bit deeper dive into our communicator lineup. This is not a comprehensive list that everything that we've had over the years, but this is pretty much the current offering. And there are certain flavors of, the first one, the M2M Mini. There's a couple different flavors of this particular device. Uplink, there's a couple different flavors, but the big, I don't want to say the sellers, but the primary communicators that we offer right now are kind of spread across the three product lines, and I'll give a little bit of a history lesson as we go through these. So pre-merger, actually the first one, the M2M Mini on the left, Mini is a dual SIM communicator focused on residential upgrades. I would highly agree with that, but I'd also consider this a commercial communicator as well. Its claim to fame has always been dual SIM. And as Matt and I are old, well, I'm older than Matt, but we're all the Alula folks. And pre-merger, we really competed against the M2M Mini, and it was tough to compete against this. It was a great low-cost communicator. It had an app for arming and disarming, and it was priced accordingly. So if I didn't need a touchscreen experience and I didn't need Z-Wave, especially with the 3G upgrades that we just went through, you just need to get in and out of there and have it communicate to the central station. If you want an upsell an app, you could certainly do that. But the part about the low cost, and we still do offer the Haas model, the hardware as service. Basically, the communicator, the hardware is free, and we offer free lifetime upgrades with the service agreement. So it's hard to beat the M2M Mini for those installations where you need to get in, you need to get out. Maybe you want to do a little remote programming of that Honeywell, that GE, that DSC panel. We also offer that. Okay, so it is dual SIM. And I want to compare and contrast it to the next product, the Bat Mini. So a little bit of history here. I mentioned before we merged, we at Alula pretty much competed against the M2M Mini. So one of the first priorities when we merged for engineering was we want a M2M Mini like product on the Alula side. And really that is the Bat Mini. So these are very, very similar products, but the M2M Mini, you register it and it works on the M2M portal. The Bat Mini registers and it works on the Alula portal. So we still have separate portals for M2M and Alula, and that may change in the future, but as of today, that was really the reason for coming out with the Mini was, okay, we want this product on the Alula side. So it also has dual SIM. It also has Wi-Fi. Okay. And similar to the Mini, the sweet spot for the Mini, the Bat Mini, is I need to get in, I need to get out quickly. We do offer an app, but mainly I just want to forward signals to the central station, remote arm and disarm. I don't really care about programming remotely. I don't care about Z-Wave. I don't care about a touchscreen. Nice thing about the Mini, however, I can offer Alula cameras. Okay, so you can kind of see on the bottom where it says residential intrusion, commercial intrusion, non-security. I mentioned I would lump the M2M Mini into the residential and both commercial Same thing with Bat Mini. Okay. With Bat Mini, think no home automation, no touchscreen, but I am able to offer cameras. Okay. However, the day may come where your customer, let's say they've got, and now we're focusing right in the middle here on Bat Connect. This is kind of the workhorse of the communicator family at M2M Services. So as I was getting in, the example might be, okay, I've got an old yellow ink keypad on the wall. I've got a Honeywell Vista 21 IP in there. It works great, but the app experience, maybe this panel's 10 years old. There never really was an app experience, but the customer calls you up and says, I'm seeing all these commercials on TV about a doorbell and operating my garage door remotely and an app. Are you able to offer me that? Yes, Mrs. Jones, I can certainly do that. Probably the most inexpensive way to do this without ripping everything out. Because like I said, hardware wise, everything works fine. We just want to upgrade the end user experience with an app and a new touchscreen. That's where the Bat Connect shines. Okay? There is an option for adding Z-Wave as well, and also cameras. So that yellowing keypad that's on the wall, you can get rid of it. You can use up to 4 of our touchscreens. The nice thing about how the Bat Connect is powered, so the example I'm giving you is you got that keypad on the wall, or maybe a couple. Well, you've got a wire running the wall already. You can unhook the existing keypad, use the existing wire that's in the wall to power the touchscreen, and plug it in. Typically where the panel's located, because that's where the other end of the wire run is. So it makes for a fast, simple exchange, if you will, of that existing keypad. Now, you don't have to use the touchscreen, but it's a heck of an upgrade and a heck of an upsell opportunity. As long as you're in there, you might as well be thinking, well, I want to be able to add a doorbell as well. Everybody's seeing the commercials now on TV where somebody rings the doorbell and I can have a conversation with them. So I can transform that old system into something in the year 2024 by adding a Bat Connect. Also gives the dealer the ability to remotely program as well, whether it be Honeywell panel, GE panel, DSC panel. We do offer that with the Bat Connect. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the Bat Connect on the slides that are coming up. But let's move over to the uplink, the 5500M. Think of this for those applications where you might not even be interested or need a security system, but I want to be able to open up a gate with an app. I need something with inputs and outputs on it. I don't really care in this application, or I don't need even to forward signals to a central station, but I need to monitor industrial equipment. Machines go down. We do have a lot of uplinks up in cell towers, believe it or not. Cell tower goes down. I need to know about it. So there's inputs and outputs on here. I can utilize the inputs, and I can have messages sent to me to tell me that something's down locally. So think non-security applications for the uplink 5500. Okay. All right. Switching gears over to the fire world. Bat Fire has been around for a few years now. It is pretty much universal compatibility. It doesn't really matter which fire panel you have out there. We have a couple different ways to forward signals to the central station with Bat Fire. If that fire panel has a dialer on it and it's communicating in tip and ring, that's the most simple, easy way to send the signal into the central station. But that's not always the case, especially up in Canada. A lot of the fire panels up there don't even have a dialer on. Well, as long as that fire panel has outputs and they can be programmed, and pretty much every fire panel does. One of the nice things about Bat Fire, it's got 4 programmable inputs and outputs that can be set up for pretty much anything. In this case, you would set up one of your outputs on the fire panel to trigger for fire alarm. And then on our web portal, where this is all configured, you just simply say, okay, input number 1, you're going to trigger for fire alarm. This is the contact ID code you're going to send in. This is the name of the zone, and it's fairly simple. So the Bat Fire has an Ethernet connection, and it's also got cellular. So like I said, pretty much universal compatibility with the Bat Fire. A ton of UL Canada, UL New York, California. If you need UL Bat Fire, well, and obviously you're going to in most applications for fire. We've got all the certifications for Bat Fire as well. Okay. Take a little bit deeper dive into the Bat Connect. Most of this I've mentioned before, but just to recap, um, simplify your day-to-day operations, and we call it a universal communicator for a reason. Unlike some of our competitors, there's two part numbers for Bat Connect. There's a Verizon version and there's an AT&T version. So obviously it has cellular built in, it has Wi-Fi built in, and it has Ethernet built in. But that, let's say you're going to standardize it, and in your service area, it's 99% Verizon. Okay. That Verizon model will take over, and it's just one part number, your GE panel, your DSC panel, your NAPCO panel, your Honeywell panel, you name it. It's one part number. When you hook up to the keypad bus, the Bat Connect knows what panel you're hooking up to. So I don't have to have a communicator for DSC, another one for Honeywell, another one for GE, another one for NAPCO. So that one communicator recognizes, if we're able to get on the keypad bus, what you're hooking up to. I mentioned before the ability to add the 7-inch touchscreen to a lot of the commonly used panels that are out there. Think Concord, think Networks, think Vista, think DSC, Power Series, Vista from Honeywell, and also a handful of NAPCO panels. Like I said, it's not necessary. You don't need to add the touchscreen, but it's a heck of an upsell. And once again, you can use 4 of them on an existing system. Okay. Also can add the Z-Wave card to add home automation. And I mentioned being able to add video as well. All right. Not a lot of people, think of M2M/Alula Uplink as a panel manufacturer, but we do have a panel as well. We are actually adding 2 more panels to the lineup in the coming months. The Connect Plus has been out in the industry for close to 10 years now. 96 zones of wireless. I can also do hardwire. I can do up to 96 zones of hardwire. And the idea with the Connect Plus and the way it was originally configured is that if you wanted cell, you can add it. If you wanted Z-Wave, you can add it. If you wanted Wi-Fi, you can add it. What we've done in the last few years to simplify things for our dealers, so I just mentioned you can add it. Well, if you buy the right kit or order the right kit, we add those cards at the factory. So it is a modular system where, once again, if you buy the right kit, you really don't have to do anything. We do this at the factory for you. So a typical kit, 3 doors in a motion, touchscreen, Z-Wave card could be in there, Wi-Fi card for the touchscreen, and cellular. We assemble that at the factory. You don't have to do anything, right? One of the reasons that it is the quickest system install in the industry, we believe, is because those kits, those sensors come pre-programmed. The touchscreen comes pre-programmed. If you've got a rookie installer, probably the first job you're going to send them out on is a Connect Plus, because being pre-programmed and the ability to program everything remotely. So you might just have your tech out there hanging sensors. The touchpad, you're probably not going to hang it out. The panel itself, you can see in the picture, comes with a little black base. You're typically not going to mount this on the wall. Most dealers, if you want to hook it up to Ethernet, you're just looking where the router is. If they don't have a router handily available, we can go 100% on cell. We can go Wi-Fi. So mounting options, it's really, where's the router, and you're plugging it in and just setting it there. The end user really never needs to interact with it. They can interact via the touchscreen. They can interact via the app. One of the nice things about the kits are, if you need to get down and dirty as far as price, one of our kits, like I said, it might be a younger couple just starting out, just got married, maybe they're in an apartment. We're going to go Ethernet, no cellular. Do you need a keypad? No. Most millennials these days, what are they attached to? I'm grabbing my phone here. This is the keypad, is the phone, right? Or we could, on the high end of things, I want Z-Wave, I want cell backup, I want the touchscreen, I want, 3 doors in a motion, plus smokes, plus environmental sensors. So very flexible as far as, a basic 2 doors in a motion, all the way up to a full-blown 96-zone panel. I mentioned that the Connect Plus has traditionally been a modular design. Like I said, we're doing most of this now with the kits where we're putting the cards in at the factory. But the next generation of Connect Plus is going to hit here, hopefully by winter. And Essentially, it's the same as the Connect Plus, 96 zones. Will have dual SIM, just like the M2M Mini and the Bat Mini. So that'll be a change for the new version of the Connect. It's actually going to be called the Connect Flex, be a smaller footprint. But well, let me tell you what it's going to have that's similar to the Connect Plus with one big change. One of them being dual SIM, Wi-Fi for not only Wi-Fi for the touchscreen, because that's how the touchscreen communicates back to the panel, is via Wi-Fi, either the end user's Wi-Fi or the built-in Wi-Fi. It also, and I failed to mention this previously, but we also have an option for a translator card. And we're still going to have that translator option. That would come in handy where, okay, we've got a Lynx panel from Honeywell, and maybe they've got 20 wireless zones, but they want to get rid of it. It's old, it's a dinosaur. Sensors still work fine. So we're going to rip out the Lynx, we're going to put a Connect Plus in, and we're going to reuse those 20 wireless devices. So, you've probably thought of us, you can go back to the early days of resolution products as having translators, and we still do. So we can take over GE, Honeywell, NAPCO, 2 gig, DSC, and so can the Connect Plus. So all of those things I mentioned, the dual SIM, the Wi-Fi capability, Ethernet, and the translator capability, it's all going to be on the motherboard of the new panel. So no more cards. It was kind of confusing, especially, now where everything seems to be all in one. So we're going to put all of this on the motherboard. And really, for me, having that translator capability built into the motherboard is really nice. Like I said, you can do all that today with the Connect Plus, but right now it's all cards that we add at the factory, or you could add them if push came to shove. So look for the new Connect Plus panel, hopefully sometime around late fall, winter. All right, as we just mentioned, we've always had the translators and the compatibles. I'll talk a little bit about the compatibles as well, though the slide really doesn't say too much about it. But that's traditionally what, especially going back to the resolution days, that you may have used us before, whether it be our wireless to wireless translator, where the scenario there would be, and it doesn't even have to be an Alula panel involved. It could be, all right, I've got a Honeywell panel and I want to use DSC wireless or GE wireless. We can do that with the wireless to wireless translator. So there's basically 2 dials on the wireless to wireless, the RE524. One of the dials is, what frequency am I listening for? GE, Honeywell, NAPCO, 2 gig. And one of them is, what am I sending? So I want to listen for Honeywell, but I want to send it to a DSC panel. Okay. And we can do this with the Connect Plus as well, with the card for the Connect Plus. Okay. The other nice thing about the 524, it also acts as a repeater. So those 2 dials that I just mentioned, if you set them to the same frequency, so GE and GE, it becomes a GE repeater. Where are you going to find a GE repeater these days? Right? So you have that capability with the 524. The 508, the RE508, this would be, and this is actually how we add hardwire to a Connect Plus panel, but this could be, once again, I'll go back to the Lynx example, these all-in-one panels out there that don't have the capability natively to do hardwire. So you're going into an existing job, they've got a bunch of hardwire devices, they got wireless, but I want to put in a panel that's all wireless. This is where the 508 comes in. You take the existing hardwire up to 8 zones per module, and we convert that and send it wirelessly to whatever panel you're working with. Once again, the frequency 319.5 for GE and NAPCO, 345 for Honeywell and 2 gig, 433 for DSC. So it lets that traditional wireless panel handle hardwired zones that you might already have out there. All right, so why M2M Services? Hopefully we've shown you, and well, we haven't shown you until you've actually played with one of our products, but we do believe it is the fastest install, especially with the Connect Plus and our dealer portal. With all those sensors and the touchscreen being pre-programmed, I can program everything remotely. And really with the power of the 3 companies, M2M, Alula, and Uplink, the complete solution for just about any install scenario that you're going to run across. Flexible platform, Like I said, you can program everything remotely, troubleshooting, silence trouble beeps, firmware upgrades can be done remotely. We don't charge for those. So one more reason, the cost advantage I just mentioned, we don't charge for firmware upgrades. I think you'll find our monthly rates and our hardware rates very competitive. We can work with our dealers. We have the flexibility of being a little bit smaller company. We can get creative with our pricing solutions, and we are 100% committed partner to you. Free customer service, US based tech support. We are truly a committed partner. All right, Matt.
All right, thanks, Bart. Great job. Our friends over at Dynamark, do you guys want to jump in here before we take questions, or?
Excuse me. Yeah, let me switch. You can make me host, AJ, and I'll share my screen here.
Let me see if I can do that. I think Matt may have to send that over to you.
Or somebody.
Yeah, gotcha.
You got me?
I can see it.
You see it?
Yeah, we see it.
Right.
We see it.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for taking us through that. I just wanted to give everyone a quick 10,000-foot overview of Dynamark, and then we'll get back to the M2M questions. So, who is Dynamark? Dynamark, we've been around since 1972. We were the largest franchisor. We were a dealer at the time. They sold that original operation and came back into the industry in 2010 and built the central station from the ground up. And it's all we do now is monitoring. So we operate in all 50 states. We have 2 locations. We're headquartered in Hagerstown, Maryland, and we just bought TriStar Monitoring in Corona, California. So now we truly have coast-to-coast coverage with multiple locations. We are a full-service monitoring station. The way I like to describe it is if you can get us a signal, we can monitor it. There's so many items and equipment that can be monitored these days. We can get into specifics on individual dealers, but basically we do everything from fire to IoT to video, intrusion, smart homes, medical. We do it all. Just get us a signal and we'll take care of it for you. We understand that everyone has a choice in monitoring centers. So it creates kind of a paradox of, do you want a small monitoring center or a big monitoring center? So there's pros and cons of both. Sometimes we hear the smaller ones know my name, know my accounts, but they lack in technology, lack of redundancy. They have staffing issues. Sometimes the bigger ones have got new technology, larger staff, but you feel like a number, you can't get a hold of anybody, or lack of flexibility. Dynamark is big enough to operate in all 50 states, but nimble enough to make decisions and make changes quickly. So when there's an issue or a problem, we address things right away. They don't sit. Part of the benefit of Dynamark is we have a company called Fast Security Distribution, which is really the M2M piece of this. In Fast Security Distribution is our distribution company through Dynamark Monitoring. And what sets us apart is when you order M2M products through Dynamark, they're already programmed to Dynamark when your customers get them. And we offer discounted pricing to Dynamark customers and partners. So we're one of the few, if not the only central station that has a distribution side as well, that we can take care of our dealers and partners. So it's an all-in-one solution and a one-stop shop, really. We also look at what do you deserve. Again, you've got choices of monitoring centers. We think 4 things that you should expect from your monitoring center is great technology. Do you have the tools you need to operate and grow? Do they make your life better? Everything we do at Dynamark is to make your life as a dealer better and easier. Great support. Can you resolve issues the same day? Can you reach somebody when you need help? We have an entire dealer services team devoted only to our dealers. That's all they do. So they can be involved as much as you want or as little as you want. Great service, of course. A lot of our technologies are the same. We all kind of do the same thing. But what kind of service are you getting from your central station? Can you pick up the phone and call someone and get an answer? Do they answer the phone? A lot of times I'll ask, how did you hear of us? and I'll get the response from a dealer, you returned my phone call. So, that's pretty scary if you're running a business, but it's great for Dynamark. And great vision. Are they working on bringing solutions? We are always trying to innovate. We're always trying to stay ahead of the curve with the latest technology, service, and pricing. So at the end of the day, it all really comes down to 3 buckets: technology, service, and pricing, and all the subsets of each of those. So if you'd like to have a conversation in more detail, I'll be more than happy to talk to you personally. Again, I'm Scott Gould. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Dynamark, and I look forward to meeting you.